Hi, I'm Tony. Welcome to Sports Bike Shop's review of the RST Spectre Air jacket. As mesh jackets go, this one from RST follows a pretty conventional path. The RST Spectre Air is a comfy, light, single layer mesh jacket that's handy to have around when the temperature creeps up into the mid-20s and beyond. The basic gist is that it uses a textile material with stretch to add structure to high flow mesh sections. It's got fit adjustment, shoulder and elbow armour and 4 pockets. So if you want a bit more detail, then stick around. The outer shell uses 2 materials. There's RST's new MaxTex S material, which is a stretch version of the polyester they've used in many jackets over the years. It's got a very comfortable feel and it allows the jacket to be worn slightly snug without that affecting comfort. It gives a similar feel in use, I find, to soft shell, and I think that's a good thing in a summer jacket like this one. That material is used around the shoulders, outside of the arms, down the ribs, and then around the base of the jacket. That's the framework around the mesh sections that you get on the front, the inner arms and the centre of the back. These mesh sections are made from RST's K300 mesh, which is the same fabric they've used in lots of their summer jackets. I found this to be effective at allowing through air while riding. Now, we've had an unusual amount of hot weather in the UK so far in 2025, and it's often been a relief to put on a jacket like this. But there is only so much a mesh jacket, that's any mesh jacket, not just this one, can do to keep you cool. Once the temperature goes much above 30 degrees, then really the air that comes through still feels hot, even when you're moving along. But days like that are rare, even in a summer like the one we're having this year. So those 2 materials combined are strong enough for a single A rating under CE. That is the most basic level, but that is how the majority of summer-only mesh jackets like this are rated. The jacket does up with a chunky zip up the front, and there are 2 extensions at the base of the zip that keep the teeth from coming into contact with your bike's tank. Then there's a popper at the top to fasten the collar, and the collar is edged with neoprene to keep it comfortable. I think that's especially important with summer jackets, as I tend not to wear a neck warmer in summer, so that means this section is always going to be in contact with my skin. Poppers at the biceps tighten the arms to stop them billowing, and then there are Velcro belts at the waist as well. The cuffs, they're simple Velcro straps. I could just about squeeze a race glove inside, but it was easier to put gloves over the top, or even better, wear short gloves. Now, finishing up on the outside pockets, there are 2 zipped pockets at the waist. Okay, so now we're going inside. Let's start with the pockets in there, and you get 2. Both of them are of a decent size, and they secure with Velcro tabs. I used one of these pockets for my phone, the other for my wallet. Job done. There's a mesh lining inside, and the pockets for the armour are held within that lining. Armour at the shoulders and elbows, it's RST's Hex armour. It's soft, it's flexible, and it meets the basic level 1 of the CE standard. You can upgrade it to level 2 Hex Pro armour if you like, at a cost of £40 for 2 pairs of inserts, 1 pair for the elbows, 1 pair for the shoulders. There's a pocket for a back protector insert. I put an RST Impact Core Pro insert in there, which meets the higher level of CE and costs 30 quid. I found it comfortable and flexible, but if you want something lighter, there is a level 1 version that costs £25 as we record this. There are no pockets for chest armour in this jacket. Now, since we started reviewing this jacket, RST have announced a tie-up with D3O, which means all of their 2026 clothing will be armoured with D3O. So expect to see this jacket featuring their armour instead from 2026 onwards, probably in a V2 or an Evo version. I'd expect the rest of the jacket to remain the same, as it's new for 2025 and RST are only going to be able to redesign so many jackets from scratch in 1 year. Now, there is one thing about this jacket that I feel is a shame. That's that there's no method of attaching it to trousers. Jackets like this are often a bit light in this regard, but many will offer at least something. Even a simple pair of loops to help the jacket stay with the trousers is better than the nothing that you get with this jacket. So before I sum up, let's quickly run through sizing and pricing. The Spectre Air comes in sizes from small to triple extra large. That covers a size range from 40 inches to 50 inches at the chest. I would normally wear whatever converts to a 40-inch chest, but in this case I found myself more comfortable in a medium, which RST say is a 42-inch chest on their size chart. There's no women's version as we record this, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of those popped up in future. Now, pricing for this jacket, that's very good. As we record this, the RST Spectre Air is listed at $109.99. That's very competitive against other similar jackets, and that leads me on to summing up the RST Spectre Air. I've been impressed with this in the time that I've been wearing it. It allows in plenty of air, It's comfortable thanks to the flexibility of the MaxTex S stretch material, and it's got a very good finish. The styling is the most subtle I can remember for an RST jacket, as the branding is normally much more prominent than this with RST. The overall quality feels better on this jacket than on similar ones that cost 30 or 40 quid more. The A rating under CE is quite basic, but it's a lightweight jacket, and we can all make our own decision on whether we're happy to compromise some toughness for extra comfort in the heat. The lack of attachment for trousers is a bit of a letdown for me, but on the whole I think this is a subtly stylish, well vented jacket that feels good for hot days on the bike. I hope that tells you everything you wanted to know about the RST Spectre Air jacket, but if there is anything you'd like to ask or to add, then please pop a comment below. Thanks for watching.